Hi readers, it's Miss Juliana and Lolly today. Today we're going to be talking, so I was just thinking of ways I can describe Lolly. She's a bear, that's what she looks like. She also has hearts all over her. She wears a cheerleading uniform. And then I was also thinking about what she thinks about. And since Lolly is a cheerleader, she's always thinking about her team and cheers and learning new cheers. Then I was also thinking another thing about Lolly. I was thinking about the way she feels. And she's pretty peppy and energetic and very joyful because she's always doing cheers. But then I was thinking, like, what do I learn about Lolly? I learned that Lolly's like a great teammate because she's always there for her teammates on her cheerleading squad. So now, what you're going to do today is we're going to be looking even closer at our characters. You just saw Tuckerbean in the kitchen. I know we read this book a bunch of times. That's why I'm using it, because you guys are pretty familiar about it and familiar with it. And the reason why we get to look at our characters even closer is because sometimes when you look at somebody the first time or a character, you get to know them, but like by going back and rereading and getting to know them better, you really get to know more details about them. And this really helps you understand the book and things that happen in a story. So now I'm going to look through this book and I'm going to be thinking about the 4 things I just talked about, Lolly. What Tuckerbean looks like, what Tuckerbean thinks about, what Tuckerbean feels, his emotions, and another thing is, like, what did I learn about Tuckerbean? So let me start looking. So even just by the cover, I can do what he looks like. He's a dog with white fur. He looks like he's smiling. So there's some things about Tuckerbean, what he looks like. Let me add that to what he looks like. So, a dog, white fur. Great. To Tuckerbean. Now I'm going to be thinking about what he thinks about. So I'm going to be, while I think about what he thinks about, sometimes in books, as you get to higher levels, you'll start seeing where it'll say Junie B thought, or Tuckerbean thought, or she thinks about, and it'll explicitly say what they're thinking about. But in some books, sometimes we have to kind of imply or use our imagination and our schema, what we know and what we see that's happening in the book, to determine what a character could be thinking about. So I'm noticing that when the innkeeper leaves, Tuckerbean starts going into the kitchen. So I'm thinking he could be thinking about what he's gonna cook. And then when he's in the kitchen, it looks like he's adding a bunch of ingredients. So not only is he thinking about what he's cooking, but he's thinking about what he's putting in his food. Let me add that. He's thinking about what he should cook and what he should add to his food. Great. So then I got to think about what he's feeling. So sometimes, again, it might say, oh, he felt disappointed or joyful, but sometimes in books we don't necessarily see those words. Authors, one thing they do to keep us interested is not just tell us, they show us, and so showing could be in the words or in the pictures. So I'm going to go back to the book and think about how Tuckerbean might be feeling. Wow. So I'm looking at Tuckerbean, and in so many of these pictures, he's like, his mouth's wide open, and he looks like he's smiling. And it's not saying he's happy, but I can kind of decide by using my schema that I can tell he's happy. Do you agree? Well, give me a woo, 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 woo. Okay. But do we use happy in first grade? You're right. We don't like to use happy in first grade. So instead, I'm going to think of a word that means happy, but is a better word. And it kind of looks like in these pictures, like he's really joyful. So I'm going to use joyful instead. It means happy, but it's more of a first grade type word. So I'm going to go back and add joyful. And he also seems really excited. So I'm going to add 2 words. I can use more than one. And excited. Let me add it up here, sorry. Excited. Great. Now I need to think about what I learned about Tuckerbean by looking at all these things. What did I learn? Okay, I have my thinking cap on, and I'm thinking about what I learned from Tuckerbean. And what I learned about him is that he's pretty creative. Tuckerbean is creative because he is always making cool food. In addition, he is a risk taker because he makes so many different types of food. And I also want to say maybe not just different types of food. And yeah, I'm just going to keep it there. So the other things I've learned about Tuckerbean. Oh, I almost forgot to write my name. Don't forget to write your name on yours. If you don't know now, you know my first name's Alyssa. And my class is 1-1. Okay, guys. I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to come up with to learn about your characters more. So I have an exit ticket for you all where you're going to write your name in your class, and you're going to be reading Max and Zoe at soccer again. And I know that earlier in the week, I looked closely at Max, and you guys looked closely at Zoe. So we're going to go back and revisit the character Max in Max and Zoe at soccer. You can find this on Mayan, and you'll be able to tell me more details about Max. Remember, it's good to reread to look closely at characters because it helps you learn more about them. And knowing more about characters helps you understand books better. All right, readers, if you're ready, say woo! Woo! Okay, see you guys soon. Bye.